My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Slice and Dice. We're going to be shortcutting our way into hard. We've got a rogue, a brute, a buckle, a vampire, and a seer, as well as heavy weapons. All heroes have heavy on all damage sides. I mean, it's kind of fine with the brute already. Kind of fine with the buckle already. Kind of okay with the vampire as well? Ish. Rogue doesn't particularly want it because obviously they're going to want to unleash the cruel attack against the enemy with the lowest HP. Poison does want to go against the enemy with the highest HP though. Top 3 poisoned. Start with the top 3 heroes poisoned each fight. That actually might be the easiest thing for us to deal with here. Middle blank. Don't really want to middle out my blanks. And expensive spells. Spells cost +1 on it. Let's go for the top 3 start poisoned. Top 3 heroes. Begin with poison on you. And then, oh, I also should have had a quick look at these. Syringe, if we have less, or two or less heroes on the field, we get +5 to all sides. I mean, I'm going to put that on the rogue just because we can get multiple effects out of that +5 if we're still rolling the cantrips. Whetstone, +1 to all basic damage sides. There's no basic damage sides on anyone at this point, unfortunately. Anchor for Self-Shield 2 on turn 1. Let's give that to the brute so that we're more capable of using the stun later in the fight. We can also throw out the Friendship Bracelet on someone, getting some empty max HP and making the monsters flee faster. Let's also do that on the brute for the same reason. Slight ability to heal them up to a larger total than they otherwise might have had access to. So there's 5 mana for us on turn 1. How much more can I get easily? Well, I mean, no more mana, but what effects are going to be most powerful for us here? I can deal 2 damage to this imp instantaneously. We can finish it off with a burst. Finish this imp off with a burst as well, and then set up for... Ah, right, never seen that 2 effect. That's the effect of the syringe. And then set up the removal of the sniper upcoming. Like, we can either do that, or we can save buckle. In which case, I have to... I have to super slow play this to try and save buckle. It's like double block there, and then we can kill this imp. Alright, fine. I'll try and keep him alive. 2 mana is good enough for me. It's a guarantee of a kill on the imp at the absolute least. Hey! Imp already died by its own accord. Great. 1 down. If I defend then infuse and then murder the top target. Okay, murdering the top target is enough to keep the buckle alive already. Save from the poison. So this ought to keep us all alive. A monk and a guardian are on offer here. So the ability to generate very large shields on someone else, or the ability to try and take all of the damage upon yourself. I think at this point I'm probably just going to prefer individual large blocks, so I'll take the guardian for that, right? Up against a ghost, a grave, and a zombie. Do I even have the ability to deal 5 damage to a target in an instant? I mean, sorry, 4 damage to a target in an instant? I mean, I can deal with it with the cruel space on the rogue. Yeah, no one has the ability to take out the zombie in a single hit, unfortunately. Or even the ghost in a single hit. Ugh. Yeah, let's get some HP from the vampire there. I think we might actually need it. Brute, you can stun someone this round. If you can stun the ghost, that'll be a real riot for us. So, I'm going to do 2 damage to the ghost. I'm then going to stun it. Then 1 damage AoE, making it invulnerable. Using up that HP, and having the grave die thereafter with a poison strike from the seer. The poison would have been really, really good on the zombie, but getting rid of that grave much sooner rather than later, I think, is going to be important for us. Pretty much everyone gets a good side there. Save the rogue, who continues to roll, and gets an even better side for their efforts. So 3 damage to the zombie, 2 damage to the zombie, and then we can kill it with a cruel. And... oof. Honestly, I'm just going to foretell. We've got this next round in the bag. Baby. Just set up for a double burst combo, take out the ghost and the bones. Now we got Dragonhide gloves and Simplicity on offer. Simplicity is still +1 to a bunch of spaces, but only the basic ones. So it is at least still an extra mana and an extra health on the vampire right now. However, this could help guide our next level up. Like, if the brute gets the ability to level up, or the rogue gets the ability to level up into a character that just largely has normal default swords, I'm probably going to want to take that, because then we have the whetstone to already give all of those +1 to basic damage and sides. We could do that again with Simplicity. I like that. It's not good yet, but will be good in the future. Is there any reason to take the Dragonhide gloves instead? We can propagate some cantrips across the board. Other than that, not so much right now. I'm taking Simplicity. It's still another investment play, but happier making this one. Bigger payoff, and we already have reasons to lean towards what it would be giving us. Ooh. Hissing Ring. Replace the middle side with 2 damage poison. Only costs us an imp and a grave in order to get that. Oh, most of our characters are about to level past. So I guess, like, for the Seer, it's really good. But most of our characters are going to level past it to the point that Hissing Ring is probably going to have to get unequipped relatively soon. But I'm not good at dealing damage to big targets right now. I think I need all of the help I can get in that. Yeah, let's take the Hissing Ring. Goes on the Seer. No need to put plus damage on anyone right now. Alright, Fanatic in the Rogue. There's a total of 6 mana for our first turn. Rogue with the ability to put some poison out on the field. I'd love to see it. I mean, I kind of want the Rogue to still possibly have the ability to dodge this round. That'd be a lot better, obviously. Okay, I'm going to push one more. It's not going to save him this round, but that's okay. Let's go for a large and in charge engaged defense up on the top side. 3 damage to the heavy target damages the Fanatic somewhat fierce. 2 damage makes sure that they will die to their own attack against the vampire here. And I'm also going to foretell, giving us some extra mana for the next turn. So both the Grave and the Imp summoning bones right now, not great. I'm probably going to have to focus on that exclusively before even starting my work on the Spiker. Vampire, heal yourself for 6 this round. That's so action efficient. Brute, that's like the only space you can't utilize. 2 damage AoE defense, as well as just decent defense on the Rogue. Love it. Brute? Dang. Someone's got to let you down every turn. Now about these enemies. I can murder this Bones, preventing a lot of incoming damage from it. I can murder another as well. I kind of want to get the Imp off the field first. But that's dealing damage to a target that's not even caring right now. The Rogue having already dodged. It's just I want the Bone Shards ability to deal the 1 damage to the tough sides on the Grave. Ugh! Yeah, I forgot the Rogue is now within lethal range. Yup. They die as soon as they try. Guardian, you can generate 4 defense to 2 targets, or 2 defense total to each of these targets, 4 defense to a single target. Yeah, I mean, I'll just settle for what you already have on hand. Brute, could you actually roll one of your sides, please? Wow. You finally roll that side, but it's not useful anymore at this point. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm gonna burst this bones 2 times, and then stun the grave, preventing the summon of the next bones. Ooh, HP is a big problem for us right now. Vampire currently has the ability to make the other 2 survive right now. Is that even good enough? Honestly, I kind of need mana and to infuse. It rolled straight past the mana. I looked at it. I saw it with my own eyes. It could have done it. Alright. So I only have access to a burst this turn. Let's have a look at what this turn would be, because I can still undo it if need be. Let's take out the bones. That keeps the brute alive, and we lose the seer regardless. So if I want to get rid of the bones, I have to lose the seer. Because otherwise, the burst is run on the seer, and then we also defend the seer. Can the brute, guardian, and vampire even take down the spiker by themselves without the seer? I mean, the seer has 2 very good sides for helping us out with a task like that. The alternative is deciding that the vampire still needs to reroll. Unfortunately, if we don't hit mana on the vampire, we're going to lose the brute. Because the brute is dying to poison right now. I could also get the ability to heal them a large amount, but far less efficient. 2 mana growth, we have to keep that. Guardian, you're not taking direct damage if this works out well. But you're never going to be able to engage on Seer anyway, so 2 block is the best you can do this round. 2 damage from the brute is kind of nice. Obviously, I don't want to roll and get another heavy side. Yeah, only the vampire can really push right now. We get health. Honestly, getting health there is not nothing. It helps our brute still consistently attempt to attack this enemy. I can't stun this enemy though, they don't have low enough HP. I mean, the vampire, if you attack and heal, you heal for the amount that you attacked for. The only really good thing I can do with the vampire right now is generate mana, that would be the best. Although I guess we can actually block the incoming damage. Oh, actually, no, this is fine. This is completely fine. Because the Guardian is shielding all of us for the incoming 2. Beautiful. So then the Vampire has the ability to use their Providence of extra HP and max HP to everyone else on the field. Vampire and defend, great. 1 health off of being able to stun the enemy at this point, unfortunately. We're going to have to use a heavy hit like that. Okay, we're losing the Guardian this turn. That was always going to happen eventually. Now it's just 4 damage. Can we get the spiker down? No one's capable of doing it by themselves. Ooh, baby! Brute stuns the spiker. We'll get some extra mana here. I don't need to use it to try and infuse this turn. Possibility of still just pushing the enemy over with extra mana. Beautiful. Whew! Yikes. I mean, look, that was a tough fight because I wanted to get the hissing rings, so we needed to take an extra little leap there. But the fact that we managed to make it through, this 2 poison should really help us against upcoming bosses. Unfortunately, not really the Lich, who I cannot hit in the back line. Shaman versus Ghast. So Shaman has Ritual for 4 mana, Heal 2, Cleanse, and Cleave. Also very, very good at prolonged fights with 3 damage and 3 shield growth sides. And then we have the Ghast with the ability to weaken targets, the ability to kill an enemy with exactly 1 HP and gain 3 mana back in response. I really like that. It's just difficult. It's difficult. Nah, I'm taking it. I need to use the Ghast sometimes and just see what I can get done. Guardian, you're now going to be the holder of the poison side. Then I need to put Simplicity on the Ghast, who now has 3 mana and 2 mana sides. Okay. Ugh. Okay, I do want the Vampire to deal damage where possible. The more people dealing damage this turn, the more kinds of different things I'm going to be able to do to save people. Ghast, I would prefer you generate mana, though. Was I unclear about the whole you generate mana this turn Ghast situation? I can be clearer. Never mind. I cannot, evidently. Okay. So without any mana this turn, life kind of sucks right now. I almost want to leave targets to just be able to harvest them all next turn. But if I don't kill this bones on the bottom line, we lose a character. Guess I'm going to weaken this bones, allow the Lich to summon in response. We'll have our own bones to deal with. Okay, Vampire's now offering me mana. I mean, I just need the mana from someone. And definitely can't risk the Ghast, who only wants to give me mana if they can die for it. Brute to attack and 2 health there seems great. Oh gosh, Ghast! Yikes! Okay, I'm gonna... Oh wait, this is also cooldown, so I can only do it once a turn. Oof. That's so much worse than I thought it was, but it's just a keyword that's on it. I should have seen it. Oh boy. Oh, and everyone's weakened as well this round. I mean, 2 damage, but without self-shield. Yeah, I guess it's probably the best we can do right there. I do like the idea of weakening the Lich when they attempt to use Petrification here. That's some poison to roll onto the Lich. One of the best things we have access to. I'm going to settle for each of those on the Vampire and the Guardian just because everyone's weakened. I'll do the best I can. So, Brute. You can only deal the damage to the target in the front line, then we harvest them, killing them and gaining 4 mana back. Then we can make the enemy weaken with single use. I can also poison them. Set up 1 damage against this bones, and then finally... infuse for 2 HP on every character on the field. Defend the bones for the final damage, and we are good. Oh, yes, mana, finally. Because it translates directly back into the ability to heal our party. I mean, you know, it's good enough for me. Okay, I can't use Harvest for mana generation this turn. Which I think is honestly just completely fine. I'm just going to double infuse, get a lot of HP on the party. I'm going to use that hit to kill that bones, and then set up some more poison on the Lich. Especially considering, you know, our backline damage is absolutely pathetic. That's basically the best turn we could have had. I mean, as long as we killed the bones on the top line, we're completely fine here. I would like to be able to do... Oh, hang on. These actually might be the best instances of damage I can roll. Brute, please. Brute, please. Oof. Yeah, a lot of instances of 2 damage. Not really good for setting up for the harvest. It will be fine, but it's not good for setting up for the harvest. Because now we have to use something like that bones attack there. Follow it with harvest to kill it. And then it's double burst to kill the bones on the top line, and even more poison for the lich. There you go. Goodbye, buddy. Now it's just bones. I am so glad I took the hissing ring. Almost talked myself out of it ages ago. Very, very, very glad I didn't manage to. Alright, rogue. That is good enough. 2 damage to this target and a harvest, so it gets maximum damage against the adjacencies. And finish off the rest of the bones. Okay, Duvet and Leaden Handle. Duvet adds Patient to the 3 right sides, times 2 to the effect if you didn't use this hero last turn. Interesting. I mean, that gives the Ghast the ability to generate a huge amount of mana for us really quickly. And then there's also the Leaden Handle, add Heavy and +1 to all damage sides. Honestly, that's pretty good for being able to kill the Thorns right now with the Rogue's cantrips, which are still randomly directed. Or I could get a random tier 6 item. I'm gonna take the random tier 6. Ugh! It's early grave. Adds pain and cantrip to the top and bottom sides. Oh, well, hang on though. The vampire has self-healing sides on the top and bottom. So self-heal, self-pain, and cantrip. That's just a way to get some health right there. I think we're as good as we possibly can be right now. Alright, vampire, roll your cantrips and kill the thorns for us, if you would. The core is really problematic here on the first turn, and I don't want to have to deal with it just yet, so I'm just going to stun it. The rogue's poison, do I want to settle for that? Yeah, I should. Everyone else pushes. That's a double weaken I'm given the ability to do if I wanted it. I think I don't, though. Ooh, there's the mana we're looking for. Oh! Vampire hit the core and pushed it into the back line. Now we don't have the ability to target it anymore. Oh, that's rude. Oh, that's evil. Okay, let's attack there. Roll a burst and then a harvest kills that. Brute. Let's get you to stun that thorn. And then Rogue takes out their rage against the bottom line. We also remain here with enough resources to give ourselves an infuse in the next round if we still need it. 3 damage to the highest damage target on board. Pretty good. The Ghast can just kill the Thorn. Okay, this is already lethal then. Ghast murders the Thorn, and the core dies to the Rogue and Brute. Ludus and Veteran. These are exactly the spaces I was asking for. Whetstone, +1 to all basic damage sides, as well as Simplicity, +1 to all basic healing, mana, damage, and shield sides. So if we put that on the, or both of them on the Ludus, it's just +2 to all sides. Honestly? Yeah. I just need a big damage number, and this is exactly what I was planning around. Why would I not take it here? So we have minimum damage of 3, maximum damage of 8. Oof. Let's give the syringe to the vampire. One of the more likely characters to make it to the end of the round. But against 2 ghosts, 3 illusions, and a snake. Ooh. I gotta remember, Ludus, 4 damage is actually like a low roll for you. I do need to have access to mana this turn, so Ghast and Vampire, just lock yours. 5 damage. Is that high enough? Because 6 does outright kill a ghost by itself. I'm gonna push. Ooh, baby, what a good push. That's the ability to immediately murder one of these ghosts, taking out the one that kills the Ludus instantly. Split damage is kind of better for me because the Guardian still has the ability to protect 2 targets on field. I don't really care about taking out the snake first, as much as I just care about getting down multiple illusions. And then I'm also going to preemptively set this ghost down 4 HP. So if the Ludus does roll anything that's 4 or higher, I already have the kill on that target. That's good. That's enough. And in fact, between the rest of the damage we have available right now... Ah! I forgot about that! I forgot about the possibility of the ghost doing that. Well, sorry, of the vampire doing that, unfortunately, here. Gosh, yeah, I can't keep the vampire alive. Double weaken, yeah, that's not gonna... Or rather, I can't keep the Guardian alive. Oh my gosh. So rude. That's 200 deaths for us, though. Unlock a curse. Permadeath. All heroes get permadeath. Oh boy. Well, not looking forward specifically to that one. Boots of Speed, +1 reroll. Replace the left side with dodge all enemies' attacks and effects. There's also spell Spark, add mana gain to target signs this turn. I mean, mana gain can give Ludus the ability to generate up to 3 mana in a single action, but that's about as efficient as it can be for us right now. Whereas Boots of Speed overrides a space that I'm fine losing in +5 mana death. Gives us a dodge effect that's pretty relevant, and +1 reroll to the entire board. I think I have to take that. Up against 2 Basilisks and an Ogre here. Ludus and Guardian both offer to die immediately. Anything that's lower than the top half, I think I need to continue pushing with the Ludus. Let's get the 2 mana on the Ghast. That's your best side right now. Unless I wanted to weaken the enemy, which I don't think I do. Vampire, your party effect here would be really good. Let's push everyone else again. Kind of a hard low roll there. 1 more. Ooh, when I said 1 more, what I mean is actually 2 more. And this is going to be particularly helpful as well. So I can set one of the Basilisks to... Hang on. That defense there, and then Vampire for the heal. I can set one of the Basilisks to health low enough for the Brute to be able to stun them, but I could also do that to the Ogre, which would give me the ability to deal that 5 damage to the Ogre, and then still prevent it from killing us this round. Otherwise, I have to worry about killing the Ogre in a single round if I want to avoid all of the incoming damage it can deal. Okay, there's the ability to infuse. Brute, you're not really going to be able to stun if Ludus has to show that shot to someone else on board. Let's push 1 more time. 5 health onto the Guardian I think seems incredible right now. Some damage out of the Guardian seems great too. And Brute, I'll just have you lock your 3 there. I could set up a Harvest this turn, but it'd be an absolute nightmare to do, I think. So instead, we'll just outright murder the ogre, saving ourselves on board. And work towards poisoning one of the basilisks. Single infuse keeps the Ludus alive, and we hold on. It's getting even harder to keep the Ludus alive at this point, though. Ooh! 8 damage, though. That'll help. 8 damage, 3. 2 on the Ghast. Okay, maybe we're making our way there. So, let's go. 8. We're just going to be short, aren't we? Oh, this is heartbreaking. I'm multiple different ways away from being able to kill a target on board this turn with Harvest. I can do 8 damage, which either overkills this Basilisk, doesn't help us, or deals 8 to the Basilisk and puts it on 2, setting it up only for the weaken and single use as a finisher. Which means I do lose the Ludus this turn. I don't really have anything I can do to prevent that. The best way to prevent that was just going, like, foot to the ground and taking the enemy out fast. Unfortunately, it didn't work out there. Leader, as well as the Witch. So Witch giving us the ability to heal 2 for a single mana. Very, very effective way to utilize the extra mana we otherwise get from Ghast. In a much more, like, piecemeal and directed fashion. Another option here is the Leader, with the ability to give other heroes the ability to use their dice again this round, shield 2, and smith a target. I mean, the Ludus has got just, like, very basic effects. So reusing that die is fine. Fine, it's fine. I think I kind of do need a toolkit kind of support, like the Witch here. Also, the early Grave with Cantrip and Pain on heal 1 boost and deal 1 damage weaken, that actually might be just completely fine. It's very, very low in its impact. It might be low enough for me to get away with doing this. I guess I'll give the Ghasts the ability to generate infinite resources if they need. No, it's probably the Guardian's best choice though. Alright, up against a Slate and a Troll King. Again, Ludus threatens to die immediately. Rolls their highest damage though. Brute, I would love you to roll the stun this turn, that would be great. Guardian, your poison is incredible, but I can't let you use it this turn, because if you do, I lose. Right? Well, this 2 mana could actually just salve both the Ludus and the Brute, keeping them alive. Which managed to weaken the incoming damage on the Slate by 1. Nice, good work. Ooh, they've buffed the Ghast's mana generation this turn. Good to see. Ooh. Getting a lot of effect out of these weakens, actually. 1 more damage to the Slate. 1 more damage to the Slate. That sets up for a Harvest. Let's take him out. And then I can get a huge amount of poison. Poison? Well, okay, the poison is just gonna cancel out the enemy's regen. They're healing 2 and losing 2 every turn. Save the Ludus. Keep the Witch alive as well, just in case. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna solve the Witch 2 times, because the Witch still has those pain cantrip sides. I want to just be able to continually roll on them without having to worry about that at all. 6 is in the top half, that's good enough. We already had the kill. I mean, gosh, do we have the kill now? Fairy Dust and Brimstone. Fairy Dust with replace blank sides with +3 mana is appealing, but, like, the Brute holds it in 1 space, Guardian holds it in 2. Slightly better, the Guardian being able to generate mana like that. Brimstone, triple the pips to the rightmost side. I mean, I have to remove one of the effects from Ludus that sets up for that in order to utilize it. Most of my other characters, except for the Brute or the Guardian, are already too high level to really, utilize Brimstone effectively at this point through an upgrade path to a different character. Fairy Dust? That 3 mana for the Guardian kind of seems impactful. That's a lot of health. The only problem is if the Guardian levels up and then doesn't really have that many more blank spaces to play with here. I'm going to take the random tier 8 again. Serration adds vulnerable to the top and bottom sides. Okay. We can set up Serration on these 3 damage heavy vulnerable shots. I mean, heck, we could even do it on Ludus if we really wanted to. So the way that we would do that is probably move the Simplicity over to this Ghast. We lose 1 damage on all of Ludus' sides, however, we get ridiculous vulnerability setup. Honestly, this might be the way to go about it. Because it makes this side, the 4 and the 5 damage side are now 2 of the best sides. The 6 damage and 7 damage side, also 2 of the best sides. Literally, it's just 2 or 3, continue rolling. Simplifies our action set very, very dramatically. Who do we buff there? Ooh, the Ghast has got +1 to all of theirs this turn. I'd like to outright kill the demon instead of... Oh, there's vulnerability. There's huge mana on 2 different characters. Which is enough to set up a bunch of bursts. Everyone else can push again, and once more, just for fun. Okay, 4 damage to that demon, and now it's got a vulnerability. Setting it up to take 4 extra damage to this 3 damage strike, 7 damage, puts it on 1 HP remaining. I can use Harvest to finish it off. Then all I need to do is keep the Witch and Ludus alive. So, murder this sniper, and done. Very comfy fights. Good work, Ludus. 2 damage, 2 damage. 2 mana. Ludus. Hard low roll right there for you. Good enough. And that'll get it done. Let's murder the final 2 snipers. Level 18 now. Ooh, Curator. Curator's got a different vibe to themselves now. They still have the pristine side, but they now have a 1 damage charge side as well as a 1 damage steal side, a 1 damage error side, 6 damage death, and a 1 damage bloodlust. They are way more of a toolkit right now than they were previously. Because previously it was stuff like, oh, now it also has a cleave attack, and it's, actually, I can't even perfectly remember what the Curator used to have, but they were much more general utility targeting kind of effects. Ranged might have been one of them as well. There's also Mimic, the ability for a target to reuse their dice this turn. Shield 2 Copycat. Is there any effect I would really want to copycat? Huh. Oh, wow. Shield 2 Copycat. Copies the keywords from the last used dice face this turn. That will copy the keywords from heal 1, boost, boost, pain, and cantrip. So it will activate on cantrip, it'll deal damage to the Guardian, it'll shield someone for 2, and then boost them for 2. And then there's also weaken pain cantrip. We would only be able to get pain and cantrip out of this, unfortunately. Is someone else better served holding on to the ability to make cantrips if we wanted to take the Mimic after this point? I can't have looters just enter a fight and die instantly. That just doesn't seem like a good idea. I'm mostly leaning towards Curator at this point. Curator also does have a steel attack, so getting some early defense on them, still good. Still good enough to consider doing. Do I want them to hold the ability to make everyone vulnerable, though? On their top and bottom side. Makes their steel attack much more powerful. Honestly, it probably depends on the enemies we're up against. Up against the Hydra? I think this is right. I think this is right for the Hydra and Wiz. Wiz immediately attempts to summon on turn 1. Not a great sight to see. 5 damage from Ludus does have the ability to immediately take out the Wisp. I would love to weaken the Hydra. My god. What a joy that would be. The Wisp on the bottom line is also not summoning anything because they've already been weakened by the Witch's effect. So, burst, burst, harvest. I wanted to take out that target. Okay, I'll continue pushing on the rest of these. Curator, I would really like if you rolled a side that doesn't promise to kill you for rolling it. So 3 damage vulnerability is already set up on the Curator as well. Or 2 damage vulnerability, but... One thing I can do with the 2 damage vulnerability, if I don't think I'm using that many instances of damage this turn otherwise, is set that up on the Wisp. No, Harvest still only kills an enemy with exactly 1 HP, rather than dealing 1 damage. If this kills the enemy, get 3 mana. So that's not the play we're looking to do. We will set up some damage on the Hydra over the course of this. Then the Burst will harvest that Wisp, getting back the ability to cast Burst 2 times. So 1 and 2 and murder the Hydra. If I can take out both of the bones, the Wiz in the back line is going to get stunned this round, and that's good enough for me. Ugh. Again, pretty hard low roll right there. We go. That's what we wanted to see. I'm so glad I have one more reroll rather than just watching the Curator consistently roll the death side. There we go. If I strike that bones, we get a little bit more bloodlust up against the enemies. Just gonna burst and harvest, burst and burst and burst. Now it's just, oh, 19. I thought we were on 19 coming from 18. Chaos Wand. That being, I was ready to set myself up against whatever big boss we were about to find, but here I'm just going to need to be able to take out the zombie very quickly. Yeah, this should not be too much of a problem for us. Triple Shuriken as ranged and chain to all sides. Ranged and chain to all sides. So if you've activated anything that shares its keywords earlier this turn, it will get activated again. I have no one else using ranged damage, unfortunately. So like, Curator, Pristine, no one shares that. Steel, Vulnerable, no one shares that. Bloodlust, Error, Death, no one shares any of those keywords with you, bud. I mean, the Witch will constantly cause Cantrip to be available, but we don't have Cantrip. Chaos Wand. 1 damage, single use cleave, engage, self-heal, weaken, and vulnerable. Does anyone get to modify their middle space enough for that to be a good idea? No, in fact, not at all. I'm taking a random TO9. I just don't see how either of these benefits me largely. Boarhide Braces. Improve the top and bottom sides. I mean, I would love to put this on the Witch, but then I have to take the cantrip off. We can put it on the Guardian, gigantic defenses from them. We can put it on the Curator in order to get larger sides with their vulnerability. Put it on the Ghast in order to weaken the enemy ridiculously. I think we have choices here. Heck, I really think we have choices here. Here's what I'm going to do. Ghast, because these sides are single use, I know you're not going to ultimately die attempting to do this, so I know that you have the ability to get both of those out onto the field, and I can still try and roll in order to look for mana or dodging enemy effects and attacks in this round. And this now gives me the ability to heal 3 boost a target, as well as 3 damage weaken a target. Incredibly powerful effects. Ludus, your job is just taking out the zombie. Don't even think about trying to consider thinking about anything else. Gosh, that's good enough for right now. Everyone else pushes. Loads of mana. I'm gonna have the Curator push again. That's even better, because now the Curator has the ability to kill the zombie outright for us. So someone else, which is to say Ludus, has the ability to take out one of the cores in the back line. I say in the back line, it's not yet in the back line. It would be with any damage I deal to it, unless I deal lethal instantaneously, killing it. Another example of something we need to do here, which I'm gonna double burst this Wisp on the top line and then Harvest, taking out that Wisp. Inflict Pain is currently being run against Ludus on the top line. Not too much I can do about that. I'm gonna burst the core. In doing so, making it much easier to achieve an instant kill on them. Only need 5 damage. Ludus, I can't have you take 8 damage on the Pain. That's just too much. Ghast, I do want you to continue rolling, and because we have enough rolls, I think I probably can afford it as well. Okay, 5 damage? Ludus might survive 5 damage. Doesn't take too many resources to have them survive that 5 damage. Mana, obviously. Let's, first off, just generate all of that mana, knowing that the Curator now has the ability to instantly kill a target on board. You take out that core. I'm going to double burst this Wisp as well as harvest them. 2 salves, and Ludus can now kill a character on board as well. And in fact, 2 bursts, and we've got the end of the game. Cool. I say end of the game. Here it is. Hexia. Ugh. All right. Hexia has Pain Mirror. On hit, attacker takes equal damage to you, as well as mana burn. Whenever mana is spent, deal that much damage to the bottom hero. This might be a really good reason to take the Valkyrie here, not just for the ability to revive characters, in case Ludus wants to be able to deal a large amount of damage, but also because target ally cannot be killed this turn. If I cast that on the Ghast on the bottom line, then the Ghast on the bottom line can just sit there and absorb all of the effects from all of the mana that I still cast at the enemies. Yeah, it's gotta be Valkyrie. Oh boy. Valkyrie, you can have +2 to all sides if we have 2 or less heroes, because then you can revive everyone at the same time. I don't really expect that to come into play, to be honest. The ability to cantrip past those weaknesses. Still pretty good right now in this fight. I don't have the ability to get a huge amount of effect out of poison, but I do have a lot of ways of generating large damage as well as vulnerability, so I shouldn't entirely require it. The vulnerability setup from both of these is dependent on other impacts on board already being relevant. Ugh. Maybe I want to set up the vulnerability back on Ludus, in which case I've got the simplicity that can roll on someone else. Probably the Ghast is the only person who really cares about holding it, in which case I'm losing my weakness single pane cantrip. But that gives me the ability now to target those weaknesses, or those cantrips. They're not cantrips anymore, but they will still remain weaknesses. Give you simplicity for the extra mana spaces. Vulnerability goes over to Ludus. Curator, you keep the self-defense side there. Add pain and cantrip to the top on both sides. Hey, target ally cannot be killed this turn. Cannot gain pain as an effect. So now as the Valkyrie rolls, they are just making people immune to death this round. Incredible. We found it. I'm so glad that I didn't leave this before finding that combination. Final thing, Boarhide braces for +2 to the top and the bottom. Is that relevant to anyone other than the witch in a magnificent fashion here? No. Let's do this. Pretty hard low roll for basically everyone there. Hexia, you're also Descend Inflict Pain? So having pain on those sides for the next turn as well. I kind of want the Ghast to lock their dodging effect. And then push with everyone else. Never mind, Ghast does not need to lock their dodging effect. Well, I mean, still do, because yeah, I've managed to prevent them from dying this round, but the Ghast loses so many resources if I still let this go through. So Ludus, that is 5 damage vulnerable. I can make it 8 damage vulnerable, setting up any hit after the point on Hexia to be huge. So 8 damage vulnerable, and then this would be 11 damage to Hexia. Oh boy. The only problem is that Valkyrie is not going to be able to save everyone on the field if I do something like that. But if I take out Hexia basically instantly... Oh, wow. Okay, I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna see how this turn would work. And then I just have the Witch and the Ghast. I gotta say, it's really appealing. Like, it might pretty much guarantee our success. I'm doing it. We lose 3 important characters, but we got way more in return. Let's go for the weaken there to set up for a harvest, killing that bones. Then I have the ability to send 2 bursts out to take down one of the imps. I'm going to have to focus on consistently doing something every single turn, because obviously if the enemies manage to summon too many more bones, then they start overwhelming my resources. So the witch can currently keep themselves alive this round. Prefer the AoE heal on the witch if possible. 3 mana in the AoE heal. In fact, 3 mana in the AoE heal is kind of ideal. That's now the ability to burst and then harvest an imp, taking it off the field. And I'm just going to hold on to all the rest of the resources for the next turn. I feel comfortable with this decision. I wonder if there was a way to just keep everyone alive on turn 1, though. Strongly suspect there was. So it's the... Yeah, okay. Which, heal thyself. Ghast, you are here to set up 2 damage for the harvest on this imp, giving us now the ability to burst 2 times, killing it. Do I just want to leave myself 1 bones against the witch? Yeah, let's do it. That's now, like, slightly reckless of a decision, but it's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Get out of here, you bones. Shortcut hard. Current streak 2, best streak 2. Have a look at these stats. Top 3 poisoned. Managed to work around it. Ludus with those gigantic, ridiculous sides. Curator with negative 15 HP at the end of the round there. The Valkyrie also with negative 13. These sides were so good. So powerful. All it took was 1 large vulnerability on turn 1, and we got him. Let's jump back to the main menu so that I can say my name's been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slice and Dice. That's been a shortcut through hard mode. Series playlist is up in the top left. YouTube recommendation down below. Screen past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at or above the thank you. And a special thanks to episode 2, Tristan. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully see you all next time.